Rapides Parish. That's the Alexandria area. So that's how wide this weather event was and how impactful it was over just Louisiana, period. The federal declaration, mostly, of course, 20 parishes down here in the southern part of the state, but yeah, up into Rapides as well, the central part of the state. That's where it is. There's 5 in East Baton Rouge Parish. Tangipahoa Parish has 3 confirmed deaths, 2 in St. Helena Parish, 2 in Livingston, and a new one there confirmed in Rapides Parish.
This says the fire marshal and various law enforcement agencies go through that painful process of going door to door, car to car, and just checking on people. We will be right back here on WAFB. It is 8:38. Stay with us.
Good morning. Our time now on this Thursday morning at 8:41. Quick look at your weather to give you information you need to know. A lot of folks outside, again, without benefit of air conditioning, electricity, fans. Please be careful. A lot of folks working outside. Be cautious, as we've been talking about all morning. Not only are you going to have that extreme emotional toll, you're also going to have that extreme physical toll because it's going to be hot. The humidity, the temperature, it's going to feel like triple digits. So please be sure and take good care of yourself. Take good care of your family. First alert Doppler radar. Pretty quiet out there, but in the past just a few minutes or so, kind of noticing a few little spotty showers kind of starting to pop up right almost in the middle of Lake Pontchartrain. Earlier today, had some spotty showers and actually a healthy little shower right around the North Shore from Mandeville, then just kind of died out just to the south of Covington. And as far as the rest of our view is concerned, pretty quiet for the most part for the morning hours. However, as you kind of know the drill this time of year for the middle part of August, there's always that chance of rain, especially in the afternoon. A few scattered showers with the potential of within the scattered shower itself that you could have maybe a couple of really rather significant thunderstorms develop, just like we had the past 24 and the past 48 hours. showers. Yesterday, flash flood warnings again for a period of time for East Baton Rouge Parish because of a very significant storm that dumped another 3 to 4 inches of rain over the spots in northern part of the parish. We really did not need it. But right now, out the door, temperature 77 degrees. Winds are light from the northeast at about 3 miles an hour. So for your day ahead, your Thursday forecast, by 9 o'clock in about 15 minutes or so, we'll be in the upper 70s. We're very close to that right now. By lunchtime, the upper 80s, light winds from the south. Our daytime high around 91, maybe 92 degrees. You add the heat, the humidity, the dew point, all those factors combined, it's going to feel like 101 to 103. And then you're by 5 o'clock, because we'll probably have a little bit of rain there, not widespread, but I think we are going to have some scattered showers, 40 to 50% chance of rain. Our temperature may have dropped down into the mid 80s because of a little bit of rain by 5 o'clock. So this is what we're looking at today through the weekend for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, taking us through the next 4 days. 91, 90, 91, 90. We're pretty consistent with that temperature. Likewise, we're very consistent with that chance of rain. Scattered showers with an isolated storm each afternoon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And at least we're not looking at anything as far as any concentrated rain or any just an area of rain that will not go away, that we're going to continue to have just rain off and on throughout the day. That's not the case. We're just looking at those typical summertime scattered showers, that pattern being by mid to late afternoon, some scattered rain on Doppler radar, and then an isolated storm, a possibility in between that. 91 for our daytime high, Johnny, but it's going to feel like more like 101. Be careful working outside. Matt, Lauren?
Yeah, we'll check in with Johnny in just a second, actually, because, Diane, we just got Devin Clark from our sister station, Fox 8 in New Orleans, making his way to Sanoma.
Now, that's a spot that we've been seeing a lot of. At one point, Devin, there was just one little strip of dry land. Have you been able to find it, or are you standing in that water?
We are standing in water on Bico Road in Sanoma, one of the parts of Ascension Parish that have really taken on a lot of water. We're just east of 431, and believe it or not, the water has receded significantly, but it is very, very constant in this area. I want to give you an example of how high it was. That house right there was raised 34 inches off the ground in anticipation of flooding, but water even got inside of that house. I want to now introduce you to a homeowner, Jacob Heath. You're displaced, your wife and 3 young sons are displaced because of this. Just talk to us about what you saw happening to your house that you've lived in for a long time.
Like I said, went to father-in-law's, started sandbagging his house. We sandbagged the neighbor's house, and then another neighbor's, and came to my house Friday evening, sandbagged ours. Saturday morning, woke up, sandbagged ours. I went to my dad's house. White cypress swamp started coming up in his yard, and wow. I came home. And
even though y'all sandbagged your house, yeah, you weren't able to keep the water out?
No, not at all.
How much water did your house take on?
I'm guesstimating at 4 or 5 foot.
Do you think it's a total loss? You think you're going to have to rebuild?
I'm not sure. We're waiting on the adjuster to come next week. We told him the water's still up, so we got to wait till the water, recedes.
Earlier we were talking and you said something really interesting. The last time you saw anything remotely similar to this was back in 1983 when you were just 3 years old. How does this compare to what we're seeing now?
Doesn't even compare. It's total devastation.
And for something to stick out in your mind from when you were 3, yeah, you know that it had to be something significant, but yeah, this is probably going to be with you forever.
Yeah, for the rest of my life.
All right, and back in the 20s you said there was another flood.
The Great Flood of 1927.
But still, people you spoke to that were around back then, what do they say about that in comparison to this?
It's not even comparable. It didn't even make it this far up.
Wow. All right, Jacob Heath, thank you very much. So we know that this water is coming from the Babin Canal, which feeds into the New River, which feeds into the Amite River. We know that the Amite River is still swollen and still backed up, so we're really not sure when this backwater situation is going to end. Reporting from Sanoma, Devin Clark, back to you.
Devin, thank you so much for so many things, getting those eyes and ears out there and letting folks really see what is still very much an emergency situation for folks. That water just doesn't go anywhere.
It really doesn't, and the folks in West Baton Rouge know about that. They are the one parish in the middle of that giant red disaster area, not under a disaster declaration zone. Sean Tassin, a phenomenal volunteer, has been in contact with us nonstop, and they are working to feed 400 people today. She told me that they are in desperate need, though, of Gatorade and water bottles to go with that food to Lamar Dixon. They were helping out across the area, but they've heard they had a truck with those items from New Orleans coming. but there was a greater need at Lamar Dixon, so they sent that truck there. But then for families out and about today that they're helping, just dropping off food, Gatorade, water bottles, they could use that there in West Baton Rouge. If you can bring it, I believe they're at the Addis Community Center is where they're set up, and you can contact them on Facebook too. The West Baton Rouge Volunteer Group, tremendous efforts there.
What an absolute pocket of humanity. I mean, we just got humanity everywhere, but that's just everybody in West Baton Rouge just spreading out as far as they can and helping as many people as they can. Let's get with Johnny H and get a look at the issues we're still facing out there right now. Johnny?
This is huge. This is definitely breaking news in the First Alert Traffic Center. I want to show you two interstate camera shots right now. You see absolutely no cones, no blockages, no forced off the interstate in the Lafayette area. That's I-10. East and westbound, that's westbound going toward Texas and Lafayette and going on toward Lake Charles. Our next camera shot over in the Lake Charles area, here's Highway 165. You no longer see any barricades. You no longer see any police officers forcing you off the interstate. And we'll go to our graphic and I'll show you why. I-10 east and westbound is completely open through Louisiana. The only issue you're going to have if you're going from Baton Rouge to Lake Charles is right around Crowley, right in this area right here. It's still down to one lane. Those far right lanes are still closed. The left lanes are open in both directions, and that's not creating any backup. I just got off the phone with State Police Troop I and Sergeant Terrio over in that area, and all lanes are open. No longer do you need a detour around that. So that is great news. Help me pass the word to folks that have needed to travel between here and Lake Charles and to the Texas state line. All I-10 eastbound lanes are open. Down to one lane near Crowley, but it's not creating any real problems for anyone. You can certainly pass in that direction. And another issue that was going toward Gonzales, unrelated to that, all lanes are open going toward Gonzales. The one lane is open going toward Gonzales on I-10. One lane is closed, and that's right before Prairieville due to some standing water. But you can still get to Gonzales on I-10. Now let's go back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Johnny. As that updated death toll sinks in this morning, 13 have perished in these deadly floods, and many watching, waiting, tense right now, bracing for possible other areas to be affected by this water that keeps spreading.
And that's the important part. The fact that not that it is still impacting so many, the important part that maybe you're not under that federally declared disaster zone yet, the fact that you can still, of course, keep filling out those forms, that's really how FEMA gets a really good idea on where the impact is, how deep it is. Fill out the forms, and that parish could absolutely be rather soon part of that federally declared disaster zone.
The people that have seen the water recede are still dealing with their trash, their debris, and they need some direction on how best to get that organized for the people that can help them with it.
Waste Management, of course, one of the organizations, one of the largest ones around here as far as getting those trucks rolling. And of course, you need to know when they're going to be rolling. So here we go. Who do we have on the phone from Waste Management? It's Renee Fauché. Of course, Renee, good of you to be with us.
Good morning.
Good to be back with you again. All right, so since the last we talked, where is the procedure? I know the trucks are already out there kind of getting moving to pick up the normal garbage, but how are we looking at almost 9 o'clock on Thursday?
Well, that's correct. As we spoke yesterday, we said we resumed all of our commercial, industrial, and residential routes as of yesterday, and that continues today. Yesterday's service, we ran our routes. We did not complete in a couple of areas because of road issues and flood issues. That's Ascension Parish and the south of the interstate in Livingston Parish. We had some difficulties there, so those routes, most were not completed. And those routes, if it's your day of service Wednesday, we'll get you on your next day of service. Today, again, we're fully deployed out there, and we're running all of our routes again, with the exception of Ascension Parish, and we are monitoring that situation now, and hopefully we'll be able to get our Thursday routes going in Ascension sometime today. So that's where we stand, and we're moving forward.
How can people best help you help them as far as where to put the bins? You know, a lot of people bringing stuff out to the curb. What would you tell them not to do?
Yeah, well, thank you. This is very important, and particularly in a residential situation. waste management in our residential areas that we're collecting, such as Zachary and the town of Livingston Parish. These residents, we ask them to please put their household garbage and trash, the stuff that's normally generated through operating your household, the food wrappers and the baby diapers and things of that nature, put all that containerized in the same containers you normally use, distinctly separate from that pile of debris that you pull to the curb because of flooding. So that would be the carpet and the furniture and things of that nature. It's very important that those piles are separated, because there are separate services or service providers that will be collecting that. And we've seen a lot of great cooperation, and we ask and continue to ask our residents to do so.
Yeah, important to know, this is not, we're talking about that, just that normal garbage. Those other, the flood debris, that's going to be contracted out, different bids, kinds of things. There is still such a catch-up process here, Renee, that we had talked earlier about additional resources being brought in to make that catch-up go even faster, get those as many trucks out to those areas as possible.
It's correct. Last we spoke, I mentioned that we had over 20 of our families that were flooded and impacted. There's actually now over 50 from what I understand. So we have brought in additional resources, additional employees, vehicles, additional containers, all of those things to meet the challenge here, this incredible devastation. And we're just amazed, not only with our employees and their spirit, but the courage and the spirit of the residents in Baton Rouge area. It's just, it's amazing.
Renee Fauché with the Waste Management, no doubt, we agree. My gosh, it's been amazing to watch. We will let you go, and best of luck with your efforts.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
From there to our Liz Coe, who has been making the rounds as well, and kind of putting your eyes on something that a lot of parents are going to be interested in, the schools and how they're looking. Glen Oaks Park Elementary School. Liz, good morning again.
Hey, good morning to you guys. And we just want to show you a little bit of the classroom. This is actually one of the better looking classrooms.
We've lost her there, but check out her Facebook page, Liz Coe, WAFB, and her Twitter account as she makes her way through that school and talks with some people there who are affected. East Baton Rouge schools, by the way, getting back next Wednesday, hopefully in most locations. West Baton Rouge already back today. And I got to correct myself. I said the Addis Community Center for West Baton Rouge donations, the Gatorade and the water bottles, go to the Merle Norman location. I think they have efforts at the Addis Community Center too, but over at Merle Norman is where they need those as well, off of Highway 1 there in West Baton Rouge, so they can put those with 400 meals going out to people.
So great to see. And what we did see very briefly from Liz, something you can take away from that, and you actually heard it a little bit, we're at one of the better locations, and it did. You could look at it and you could see the classroom looked to be okay. And
it's good to see those too. A lot of times we just show you the ones that are flooded, and we're happy to see that location's doing all right.
It's just that process of getting, what if that classroom cannot be staffed? What if the teacher cannot get there? And so those kinds of things are going to have to be, like we were talking about, we had the president of the Louisiana Association of Educators here. The superintendents have a lot on their plate right now because they know their teachers and principals have a lot on their plate right now. So it's
some of the superintendents, the one in Livingston Parish, cleaning up after his home was flooded. So head to our website for more information on how you can donate to those teachers. That's going to be huge. They're getting that money out to them. LAE.org is another place that you can go. LAE.org is how you can donate and get the kids and the families back to some sort of normalcy by those donations going directly to the teachers.
Exactly right. Fully 20 parishes in our area under the disaster declaration, and folks, even if you're outside that area, we've said it so often, please jump online, hit the phone number, make sure that you are involved in the system. We understand it's going to get kind of crowded on that phone line. Put it on speaker, walk around the home, do what you need to do, jump online at disasterassistance.gov. Make sure you are a part of this process, because we're all going to need every bit of help we can get.
Definitely. There is the information that you need to register. That phone number is going to be troublesome for you. From what we understand, though, people are having to wait on the phone line for hours. So if you can get to a device to get you to disasterassistance.gov, that may work out better for you, so you can get to your business. And all that information, Social Security information, bank account, that's what you need ready when you apply for FEMA. In the meantime, we know Shelters around here are going to be collecting things all day, including United Way on 700 Laurel Street, many others, and we're going to be checking on all of them.
That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to leave you for a short bit here, but rest assured, we're going to have our crews, our eyes and our ears out there, continuing to cover this historic flooding.
Stay with WAFB.com for the very latest.